Hey all, welcome to Homeschool, and we are with the wonderful chapter called Human Eye and the Colorful World. See, we have already discussed about the basic introduction and we studied about the important thing, that is the structure of human eye, in the last video, right? And we have seen the various parts of the human eye and which part does what work, everything we discussed in detail. And in today's class, we are discussing one more really important concept, that is power of accommodation. So what do you mean by this power of accommodation? Before we understand the power of accommodation, let us try to revise one thing from the previous video. See, I told you whenever light rays come, this is our cornea. What is this? This is cornea, right? And this is our lens, super lens that is there inside the eye, convex type of lens. So light rays would pass the cornea, a level of refraction occurs, first level of refraction. Again they pass to the lens, second level of refraction occurs, and they meet at cornea. The light rays converge at cornea, so the image is formed in cornea. Okay, and this is what we discussed in the last video. And you know what? We have already studied about so-called convex lens in the previous chapter. Okay, so in the convex lens, do you remember, if this is an optical center, this is f1, this is 2f1, on a principal axis, I'm just mentioning this is focus point 2, this is 2f2, right? And whenever you keep an object here, you will get image, somewhere here between f2 and 2f2. Whenever you keep your object at infinity, you get your image here right at focus. All this we have studied. So what we understood about the convex lens is, when you keep the object at a different position, you get image at a different position. Right? If you keep object very far away, you are getting image at one place. When you keep object very near, you are getting image at another place. Right? But in the human eye, we also have a convex lens. But what is the difference here is, your object, whether you keep it near or far, the image is always formed on retina. Got it? See the difference? Depending on the different position of the object, you got your image in different position. But in a human eye, the same convex lens is there, but it is not made up of a glass. Okay, that's a different thing. You keep your object near or far, wherever it is. It may be near or it may be far. Images are always formed on retina. That means the refracted rays always meet on retina. So the image is always formed on retina. Okay. So how is it possible? How? Near objects, the image formed on retina. Far away objects, image also formed on retina. What is this? How is this possible? That is what we are going to learn under power of accommodation. Okay, so you see here, very interesting thing that happens inside the eye. You have certain muscles called ciliary muscles. Okay, so what muscles are there? See, here I have drawn a shape connected to a lens on both the sides, right? So what muscles are they? They are ciliary muscles, very, very important muscles. Ciliary muscles will do all the work. Okay, I will explain it how. Imagine you have an object in a far away position. Okay, so what may happen is, see, the light rays are traveling from very far away. The light rays are traveling from very far away, guys. And they are meeting cornea. So what happened? First phase of refraction occurs, right? First, see, slight bending I have shown on a light ray. See, I'll change the color of the chalk piece. See, I have changed it to yellow. You can see, the bending of light. First refraction occurred in cornea. And they are entering to the lens. right? And in the lens, again, a second phase of refraction occurs. Since they have already traveled from a long distance, imagine they won't pass further. They are trying to meet here. Okay, that means image is forming here. Image has to form on retina, right? Because retina has a light sensitive cells. Okay, I have mentioned you what are the cells? Rods and cones. Okay, so these rods and cones, where do you find? You will find it on retina. What does this light sensitive cells do? They will generate the electric signal, and they are the guys which are giving signal to the optic nerves. So if the signal is carried from optic nerves to brain, then brain processes the information so we can see the things as they are, right? That means compulsorily image have to form on retina. Only then the information about the image goes to the brain. Otherwise, it will not go to the brain, right? So it is very much necessary for the image to be formed on retina and nowhere else. Okay, so here when the object is very far away, rays have already traveled to so much distance, the refracted ray would end up in meeting here. So what happens here is, the ciliary muscles will change the shape of a lens. Okay, the lens will become thinner here. The lens will become thinner here. Okay, so let us understand this very carefully. So what is our ciliary muscles doing here? Okay, the moment object is very far away and I started detecting the object is very far, what happens? Automatically the ciliary muscles starts to relax. Okay, so they will relax. That means their shape is going to be changed. Okay, actually these ciliary muscles are the one which hold the lens. Okay, they will be holding the lens, and they actually control the shape of lens. Okay, or nothing but curvature of lens. They will control the curvature of lens. So this is what the work of ciliary muscles. So the moment the rays started coming from very far away position, ciliary muscles will start relaxing. They change their shape. Okay. The moment the ciliary muscles relax, what happens? Lens becomes thin. Okay. Lens becomes thin. Lens becomes thin in the sense what? Curvature decreases. Okay, curvature of a lens actually decreases. Or just remember, the lens is going to become thin. Okay, whenever the lens becomes thin, focal length of a lens increases. What increases? Focal length of a lens increases. Increase in the focal length leads to the formation of image on retina. Because the focal length is increasing, say imagine previously what happened, this may be the focus point, so they are meeting here. They were first of all traveling from long distance, no? So they would like to meet very near inside the eye, like maybe this is where they meet, so this is the focus. Right, say this much center of the lens and this point is what? Focal length. Now what happens? The lens automatically becomes very thin. Lens becomes very thin, guys. So what happens? Automatically focal length of a lens increases. Maybe the focus point would have moved on to a retina. So what happens? Now this, the refracted rays travel and they will try to meet on retina. So image is formed on retina. Okay. So the moment lens becomes thinner, focal length of a lens becomes more. The moment focal length, the distance between the center of the lens and the focus point becomes more, the focus point exactly shifts to a retina. So this is where the rays are converging, the refracted rays are converging, and you can see a clear image of the object. See how beautiful the concept that is really taking place inside the eye. Okay, so the moment I detect that the object is very far and the rays are coming from very far away position, ciliary muscles gets relaxed. The moment they get relaxed, lens, shape of a lens changes, the lens becomes thinner. The moment the lens becomes thinner, focal length of a lens increases. Thinner lenses will always have longer focal length. Okay, since the focal length is very long, the focus point shifts onto a retina now. I mean, that is where the refracted rays converge onto a retina. So image is formed on retina. Okay, so what I will write here, since the focal length is increasing, image forms on retina. Clear, everybody? So this is what happens with far away object. Clear? And now let me take an object very near. Okay. Now what happens? See, the incident rays, like the rays that are coming from the object, it reaches the cornea. This is cornea. Here a certain level of refraction occurring, and they will reach the lens. Here also certain level of refraction is occurring. Okay, and you see here the light ray is not traveling to a larger distance. The distance of light ray is very little. So they can travel and they can go out of the retina also. Okay, they can go out of the retina, and there you have a chance of meeting. But if they meet here, no use, guys. They should meet the image. These guys have to meet on retina, so the image of this can be formed on retina. Only when the image is formed on retina, light sensitive cells will be there on retina. They will detect, they will take the information to the brain so that we can see the things. Right? So definitely it's necessary to make the image on retina. So this is what can happen, when the object is very near. Then to avoid this, here also we want them to get meeting point on a retina. So what happens here is focal length we need to decrease. Okay, if you can see here, previously they have formed an image, they met here in the sense focal length of a lens is quite longer. If we can decrease the focal length, focus point from here, you have chance of moving it to retina, right? So if the focus point have moved to retina, that means focal length, if you can decrease, what happens? You have chance of meeting them on retina. Okay, so how you can decrease the focal length? Again, by changing the shape of a lens. Make the lens thicker. If the lens is thicker, focal length of that lens will be lesser. Okay, and who will make the lens thicker? Again, our ciliary muscles. Okay, so now what happens here is, okay, so this is what happens when object is far. Okay, and now we will speak about object near. Clear? Whenever an object is very much near, what happens to our ciliary muscles? Ciliary muscles contract. What happens? Ciliary muscles contract. Again, their shape changes. Because they contract, the lens shape also changes. The lens becomes thick. Lens becomes what here? Thick. Okay. If the lens is thicker, focal length of a lens decreases. What happens for focal length? Focal length decreases. If the focal length decreases, then you will get image on retina. Yes or no? That means focal length decreases means what? The focal point is moving near. Where it is moving near, it is moving onto a retina. That's what we mean by focal length decreasing. Okay, so image is formed. If the focal length is less, image is formed on retina. Clear? This is how, whether you keep the object near or far, always image is formed on retina. Okay, so this kind of adjustment by the lens, okay, to form the images on retina is called power of accommodation. Okay, so now let us try to write the definition for power of accommodation. See everyone, carefully try to understand what I am writing on a board. See, capacity. It is the capacity of eye lens. Eye lens, or you can also write crystalline lens. Okay, to adjust its focal length. Its focal length. Why the lens's focal length is getting adjusted? It is because to see the near and far objects clearly. Okay, whenever you see when you can see the objects clearly, whenever their images are forming on only retina, because from the retina information is carried to a brain, right? So only when the image is formed on a retina you can see the objects clearly. So if you want to form the images on a retina, what has to be done? The lens, eye lens focal length have to be adjusted. So how is it getting adjusted? With the help of ciliary muscles. Okay, so this particular flow chart, whatever I gave you, is a very important thing to understand. Okay, and one of the easiest way to understand how focal length is increasing and how focal length is decreasing. If you want to watch the faraway things, focal length have to increase. If the focal length have to increase, lens should become thinner. Who will make the lens thinner? Ciliary muscles. When they relax. Okay, and here if you want to see the nearby things clearly, the lens must become thick. Then the focal length decreases, so that image can be formed on retina without going behind the retina. Clear? So this is what our concept. Now let us learn what do you mean by near point and far point. Near point, far point. See, let me write the definition for near point. The minimum distance. Near point is nothing but it is the minimum distance at which we can see the objects clearly. We can see the objects clearly without any strain on the eye. Without any strain on the eye. So what do you mean by this? See, whenever I have to watch this chalk piece keeping very near, I can see this chalk piece, no doubt, but I get a kind of strain on my eyes. You can feel that strain. Okay, say if you want, you can just do it. Just now you can do it. Whenever keep your book or pen very near, keep it this near. You try to watch that. Don't you feel a kind of strain on your eyes? Definitely, right? That means you cannot watch the objects very clearly without any strain, you know, when you keep it very near to you, very near to your eye, you know. And then at what distance you can see the objects very clearly? At least a minimum of 25 centimeter has to be there. Okay, say if you keep the objects within that 25 centimeter from your eye, see from your eye to object, at least 25 centimeters distance should be there. Only then you can see this object very clearly without any strain on the eye. If you bring this object near, that means within 25 centimeter range, then you get a strain on your eye and you see the object slightly blur. You can't see it clearly. If you want, you can just check it. You will see it blur, right? So what is a near point in an adult? I'm giving near point. That means at what point you can see the objects clear when you keep it near. Okay, near point in adult, healthy adult is 25 centimeter. Okay, say after when you keep it at 25 centimeter, very clear. Behind the 25 centimeter, very clear. But within that range, within 0 to 25 centimeter range, when you keep the object, no, you will get strain on your eye and you can see the object blur. So why is this happening? See, just now we have studied, say, if this is our lens, this is our cornea, when you keep the object very near, somehow the eye lens adjusts its focal length so that you get the image on retina, right? Okay, see, whenever you keep object very near, what happens to the lens? I told, lens becomes very thick. That means lens compresses. Ciliary muscles will compress the lens. Okay, lens is like this. When you compress it, curvature of the lens increases, lens becomes thicker. But how much you can compress? For that also you have a limit, guys. Okay, say lens to become thick, it should compress. Ciliary muscles will compress it. Okay, and even for that you have a limit. Say as you bring the object very near, your ciliary muscles try to compress the lens more and more. But it cannot compress to a certain point. It has a limit for the compression. So that's the reason, object you brought near, again compression, lens started to become thicker. At certain point, it will not become much thicker. It will stop there. And that point of time, you feel strain in your eye. You feel a kind of pressure on your eye. You can feel it. That means there inside what is happening, your lens is actually becoming thicker and thicker. More pressure you are applying by bringing the object near and near. Okay, as the object comes near and near, ciliary muscles started to compress more and more. That's how you are getting a pressure. You can see it, no doubt, but you are getting more pressure on your, lens. Clear? So that's the reason you will see that object little blur, and so you get that strain on your eye for this reason. Okay, so if you want to watch the objects very clearly in the nearest point without any strain is, you should at least keep them at the distance of 25 centimeter. So 25 centimeter, I will call it as near point. This only we will call it as near point. Okay, and now let us learn about far point. So what do you mean by far point? It is the farthest distance. It is the farthest distance, the maximum distance at which we can see the objects. We can see the objects. Imagine you have gone to a very hilly area. How much distance you can see. Very far away things also you can see, but not very clearly. Not, you can see. Whenever you go to a mountain area, you can see the whole lot of mountains. You can see the very far away things. No doubt, but not very, very clearly. Okay, but how much ever far they are, you can see it. So when you see them, you don't get strain on your eyes actually. Far away things when you see, you don't get much strain on your eyes, right? Too much far away things also you can see, but you don't see it much clearly. That's the only difference. Okay, so the far point in a adult is infinity. The far point is from 25 centimeters to infinity. We call it as far point only. Exactly 25 centimeter distance, that point we will call it as near point. After 25 centimeter, that means from 25 centimeter to infinity position, it is considered as far point only. Okay, got to know? So this is about the near point and far point. Try to remember the ranges here. Near point is 25 centimeter. Far point is 25 to infinity, or just if you can mention infinity, that is more than enough. Okay, so try to remember their definitions also. That's all about the power of accommodation, near point and far point. And in the next video, we will discuss about the defects that are observed in a human eye. There are 3 important defects that you have to remember. Let us discuss all the defects in detail in the next video. Till then, keep revising the concept and do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.